Earth stood as a hub of interstellar diplomacy, attracting alien species from across the galaxy. New Terra, Earth's sprawling megacity, had become a cosmic melting pot. Among the diverse crowd, Dr. Eli Turner, a renowned human geneticist, felt out of place. As he wandered through the bustling streets, his mind was occupied by thoughts of an upcoming conference on advanced reproductive technologies. Unexpectedly, his attention was caught by a pair of luminous violet eyes belonging to a mysterious alien woman. Her shimmering, ocean-like skin stood out in the sea of pedestrians. "Dr. Turner, I presume?" she asked, her voice melodic but tinged with desperation. Eli was taken aback, but nodded. "Yes, I'm Eli Turner. How can I help you?" "I am Lyra, from the Nebulae, a race on the edge of the Orion Arm. We need your expertise. Humanity's unique capabilities may be our only hope." Intrigued, Eli invited her into a nearby cafe, where she explained her people's dire plight. Over generations, the Nebulae had suffered from a genetic affliction that rendered their reproductive capabilities almost non-existent. Their women could no longer conceive with their own kind. "Human DNA is uniquely compatible with ours," Lyra revealed. "And your work in genetic compatibility is renowned. We believe you can help us integrate human DNA to ensure our survival." Eli was astounded. The ethical and scientific implications were enormous. "This would require extensive research, approvals, and collaboration," Eli responded cautiously. "But if you've come all this way, I'll take your proposal to Earth's authorities." Lyra handed him a small device containing all the data they had on their genetic affliction. Eli felt the weight of this responsibility, a project that could intertwine the destinies of two species. Little did he know that this would mark the beginning of a journey that could change the course of the galaxy. The Council's dilemma days later, Eli presented the Nebulae's request to the Earth Alliance in a high-security conference room filled with scientists, diplomats, and ethicists. As he outlined Lyra's proposal, skepticism and intrigue filled the room. Dr. Maria Chen, a leading bioethicist, voiced her concerns. "We're talking about deliberately altering the course of another species' evolution. Are we prepared to handle the ethical ramifications?" General Akio Tanaka, a military advisor, was more concerned with strategic risks. "Helping them could forge a powerful alliance, but we must also consider the political landscape of the galaxy." Eli remained calm. The Nebulae face extinction. This isn't about playing God. It's about offering aid in a way only humans can. We have the technology to make a difference. After hours of debate, the Council agreed to proceed with preliminary research, but they would closely monitor every stage. With the weight of the decision pressing on Eli's mind, he knew this was only the beginning. Unknown political forces, ethical dilemmas, and scientific challenges awaited him. A divided people. Weeks into their research, Eli's team made progress, discovering that nebulae and human DNA were more compatible than initially thought. However, Lyra returned to him with troubling news. A faction within her people, led by an influential orator named Varric, opposed the project. They feared that integrating human DNA would dilute their species' heritage. "The opposition is growing," Lyra confessed. "We must tread carefully. If Varric gains more support, our work could be jeopardized." Eli understood the gravity of the situation. "If we're to succeed, your people must unite. This project can't move forward in the midst of such division." Despite the growing resistance, Eli's lab made a breakthrough, successfully developing a synthetic vector capable of safely integrating human DNA into nebulae cells. But the political divide in the nebulae society loomed ever larger, threatening to unravel the fragile progress they had made. A secret pact. Tensions escalated within the nebulae society as Varric's followers grew more vocal. Fearing that their project would be halted, Eli and Lyra, along with a small group of nebulae scientists, decided to continue their research in secret. They established a clandestine laboratory in a remote part of the nebulae homeworld. "We must accelerate the timetable," Eli suggested. "If we can show undeniable success, it may sway the Council and public opinion." In their hidden lab, the team worked tirelessly, and within months, they achieved a groundbreaking result, a viable hybrid embryo. The implications of this success were immense, but they knew it was only a matter of time before Varric's opposition would make a move. The first hybrid. News of the hybrid's success spread quickly, stirring both excitement and fear. Eli and Lyra presented their findings to the Nebulae Council, showcasing the healthy, developing hybrid named Aura. The image of a thriving hybrid child ignited hope among some, while Varric's supporters called the project unnatural and protested in the streets. The protests escalated, and tensions between the two factions threatened to boil over into violence. Eli and his team fortified their lab, preparing for the worst. Varric, consumed by his belief that the hybrid project would spell doom for the galaxy, had reached his breaking point. He organized a massive protest, rallying thousands who shared his fears. Armed with makeshift weapons, banners, and a growing rage, they marched toward the facility where Era and the other hybrid children were being cared for. Their chants echoed through the streets, a cry of desperation and resistance against what they saw as an unnatural abomination that threatened the balance of the universe. As the mob approached, the facility's doors remained tightly shut. Inside, Eli and Lyra were preparing for the worst. They knew Varric wouldn't stop unless he was confronted, and they weren't about to abandon the innocent lives under their protection. Eli, ever the tactician, stood tall, his expression determined but weary. Lyra, her heart pounding in her chest, kept her eyes on the surveillance monitors, watching as the sea of protesters grew closer. "Are you ready for this?" Eli asked, his voice a mixture of calm and concern. Lyra nodded. "We have to be. They can't see the children as enemies. They have to understand." As the mob reached the gates, the tension was palpable. Varric, at the front, raised his hand to silence the crowd. "These hybrids," he bellowed, "are a danger to everything we stand for. They are a threat to our existence, a violation of the natural order. We must stop this madness before it's too late." The crowd roared in agreement, their anger intensifying. They surged forward, ready to break through the gates. But before they could act, the gates slowly opened. Eli and Lyra stepped out, standing in front of the crowd, blocking the path to the children. Eli raised his hand, calling for silence. "You don't know what you're doing," he said firmly. "These children are not your enemies. They're just children. They are part of a future where we all coexist, where we can learn from each other. You're here to destroy something you don't even understand." Varric sneered. "Understand? We understand enough to know this is wrong." At that moment, a small voice broke through the chaos. Aura, the young hybrid girl, stood at the entrance to the facility, watching the confrontation unfold. Her innocent eyes, filled with curiosity and confusion, met those of the protesters. Slowly, other children began to gather behind her, their presence a stark contrast to the anger and hatred boiling in the crowd. The sight of the children, fragile and vulnerable, caused a ripple of uncertainty among the protesters. Many of them faltered, their raised weapons lowering as they took in the scene. These weren't monsters or threats. They were children, innocent, scared, and completely unaware of the conflict surrounding them. "Look at them," Lyra pleaded, her voice carrying a note of desperation. "They are not what you fear. They have no malice, no agenda. They just want to live, to grow, to learn." The crowd was silent for a long moment, and then, one by one, protesters began to lower their weapons, the fire in their eyes dimming. Some muttered in confusion, while others wiped away tears they hadn't expected to shed. They hadn't come to confront children. They had come expecting to battle monsters, but all they found were fragile beings who held the potential for something more. Varric, seeing the shift in his followers, tried to reignite their anger. "Don't be fooled," he shouted. "They may look innocent now, but they're dangerous. They'll bring destruction upon us all." But his words no longer held the power they once did. The crowd was no longer looking at Varric. They were looking at the children. Some of the protesters even began to step back, realizing the weight of what they had been about to do. In a final act of desperation, Varric lunged forward, trying to push past Eli and Lyra. "If none of you will stop this, I will," he yelled, eyes wild with fury. But before he could get any further, several of his former followers stepped in, pulling him back. "Enough, Varric," one of them said, shaking his head. "This isn't what we came for." Realizing his cause was lost, Varric struggled against them, his voice growing hoarse as he was dragged away. "You're making a mistake. You're all blind." Eli and Lyra stood in silence as the authorities arrived, arresting Varric for inciting violence and leading an unlawful protest. His followers, now subdued, dispersed quietly, many of them shaken to their core. As Varric was led away in handcuffs, his eyes locked on Eli. "You'll regret this," he hissed. "Mark my words, this project will bring nothing but disaster." Eli watched him go, the weight of the confrontation settling in. But as he turned back toward the children, seeing Era's bright eyes looking up at him, he felt a sense of relief. The tide had turned. The hybrids were no longer seen as a threat, but as a chance for a new beginning. A newfound understanding had been forged between the factions, and while the road ahead would still be difficult, there was hope. The hybrids represented the future, a future where differences could be embraced, where the galaxy could find unity in diversity. With Varric's defeat, the Nebulae people began to experience a remarkable transformation. What once divided them now united their society in ways unimaginable before. The hybrids, children born from the union of nebulae and human genetics, became symbols of a bright future, blending the strengths of both species. Initially feared, they were now viewed with admiration as living proof that cooperation could overcome even the deepest divides. The Unity Initiative, which had once struggled for acceptance, now stood at the forefront of Nebulae society. Eli and Lyra, celebrated for their groundbreaking work, continued to expand the project beyond their homeworld. What had begun as an experiment to preserve Nebulae culture had grown into a galaxy-spanning effort to bridge species and cultures. Earth and the Nebulae shared their knowledge and resources, creating a technological renaissance that catapulted them both into new realms of discovery. Eli and Lyra's hybrid project attracted the attention of other alien civilizations. Envoys from distant star systems arrived to learn from their success, eager to foster collaboration on their own worlds. New alliances were formed, treaties signed, and research facilities established across various star systems. Nebulae scientists worked alongside human engineers, unlocking advancements in medicine, starship technology, and artificial intelligence, each innovation further binding their fates together. As the Nebulae culture blossomed, Earth experienced its own renaissance. The exchange of ideas between the two worlds ignited a revolution in science and the arts, inspiring countless generations. Universities across both planets opened their doors to interspecies students, cultivating a generation unbound by the prejudices of the past. The bond between Earth and the Nebulae solidified with the establishment of the Galactic Unity Coalition, an interplanetary organization dedicated to peace, cooperation, and shared progress. Together, they expanded exploration missions into the far reaches of the galaxy, pushing the limits of what was thought possible. The Unity Initiative became not just a project but a way of life, a testament to the strength of diversity and the power of collective hope. The hybrids, now fully accepted and celebrated as a new generation of Nebulae human leaders, embodied this unity. They held positions of influence, guiding both societies toward a future that embraced not only survival but the limitless potential of shared existence. In their eyes, the stars were no longer just distant lights. They were destinations, stepping stones for the continued growth and exploration of their species. As Eli and Lyra watched their work take on a life of its own, they knew they had not just saved a dying species, but had ignited a new era. Together, Earth and the Nebulae were no longer separate worlds. They were partners in the grand adventure of survival, exploration, and unity. The future was vast, and with their shared strength, no challenge seemed insurmountable. With the dawn of this new age, the galaxy watched as two once separate species walked hand in hand toward the stars, ready to face whatever lay ahead. A legacy of unity. Years after the successful integration of humans and nebulae, the galaxy stood witness to a remarkable transformation. The Unity Initiative had blossomed into a powerful movement, inspiring other species facing existential threats to seek collaborative solutions. Eli and Lyra, now revered figures in both their worlds, dedicated themselves to nurturing the spirit of cooperation. On the Nebulae homeworld, vibrant festivals celebrated the blending of cultures. Colorful banners flew in the wind, depicting the emblem of the Unity Initiative, a symbol of hope and collaboration. Artists, once hesitant, now boldly expressed the fusion of human and nebulae aesthetics through music, dance, and visual art. Street performers captivated audiences with mesmerizing displays, showcasing dances that intertwined human rhythms with the graceful, flowing movements of the nebulae. Children of both species played together in parks filled with bioluminescent flora, their laughter echoing across the fields, a testament to their shared heritage. Eli and Lyra established the Galactic Unity Institute, a hub for interspecies research and cultural exchange. The institute attracted scientists, artists, educators, and diplomats from diverse backgrounds, all eager to learn and collaborate. They shared knowledge on everything from medicine to sustainable agriculture, developing technologies that bridged the gaps between their worlds. Their groundbreaking work on hybrid energy systems revolutionized energy production, providing clean power not just for Earth and nebulae, but for other civilizations in need. The initiative's success also spurred advancements in communication technologies, enabling real-time translation and fostering deeper connections between species. During a Grand Council meeting held in a newly constructed building at the heart of the Galactic Council, Eli presented the achievements of the Unity Initiative. The room buzzed with representatives from various species, eager to learn from their successes. Holographic displays illustrated their advancements, solar arrays powered by nebulae's unique flora and devices that could harness energy from cosmic phenomena. "We've shown that unity is not just a dream but a reality," Eli declared, his voice steady and passionate. "When we come together, we become stronger, more resilient. Our shared experiences can light the way for others." Lyra stood beside him, her presence radiating hope. "Our journey is just beginning. Let us continue to explore the endless possibilities that lie ahead. Together, we can tackle any challenge, any crisis. Our past has taught us the importance of compassion, understanding, and the power of collaboration." The room erupted in applause, a chorus of species celebrating their shared vision for a brighter future. As Eli and Lyra walked through the corridors of the council building afterward, they reflected on the incredible journey they had undertaken. Eli remembered the uncertainty they had faced, the challenges that had threatened to divide them, the memory of Varric's protests, the fear that had gripped both communities, felt distant now. They had forged a path forward, not just for the hybrids, but for all beings seeking understanding. Back on Earth, people watched as the stars sparkled brightly in the night sky, a reminder of their expanding horizons. Schools began teaching the history of the Unity Initiative, instilling values of empathy and collaboration in future generations. Young students were encouraged to engage in interspecies dialogues, fostering friendships that transcended the boundaries of their home worlds. The nebulae's vibrant culture began to influence Earth's art and cuisine, while human innovations inspired nebulae technology. In quiet moments, Eli and Lyra often found themselves on a balcony overlooking a vast nebula, its colors swirling like a cosmic tapestry. "Look at what we've built," Eli said, a smile breaking across his face. "This is just the beginning." The nebula sparkled with the light of distant stars, symbolizing the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. Lyra nodded, her eyes reflecting the stars. "Together, we'll face whatever comes next. We've learned that true strength lies in our unity." They often spoke about future plans, initiating programs for interspecies mentorship, developing joint missions to explore new planets, and even creating a space fleet that would operate collaboratively. As they gazed into the endless expanse of the universe, Eli and Lyra knew that their story would inspire countless others. A legacy of hope, creativity, and resilience would continue to echo through the stars, reminding all civilizations that together they could overcome any obstacle. Their vision for a galaxy united in purpose, fueled by curiosity and collaboration, was taking root. As news of the Unity Initiative spread across the galaxy, it sparked a renaissance of interspecies diplomacy. Neighboring systems that had long been in conflict began to seek alliances, encouraged by the successes of Earth and the nebulae. The spirit of cooperation became a guiding principle, laying the groundwork for the establishment of a galactic council dedicated to peace and innovation. And so, the tale of the Unity Initiative spread across the galaxy, a beacon of possibility in a vast and often uncertain cosmos. As Eli and Lyra looked to the stars, they felt a profound sense of purpose, knowing they were not just shaping their worlds, but also the future of all species who dared to dream of unity and understanding.